How's it going, everyone? I'm Chase Lee reporting for DallasMoviescreens.com, and I got another movie to review for you guys, and that would be Masterminds. Now, this one stars Zach Galifianakis, Kristen Wiig, Kate McKinnon, Leslie Jones, Owen Wilson, Jason Sudeikis. It's got a stacked cast, so you know going into it, you're like, well, it's got to be somewhat decent, right? At least a little bit entertaining. So this movie's based on the Loomis bank robbery. That was one of the large. I think it is the largest bank heist in history, but it's not really a heist. It was all within their own company and stuff. So it is one of those like kind of kind of smaller robberies, but it was actually big on a larger scale. But I don't know what I'm talking about. Anyways, it is a robbery movie that actually did happen in real life with real life people, and there were consequences. So bringing in this cast is going to be very, comedic and kind of goofy and stuff. And when you have the director, Jared Hess, who directed such cult classics like Napoleon Dynamite, which I did not like, Nacho Libre, which I did not like, going into this, it's going to be a goofy-ass comedy. I was dreading this movie. I saw the trailers. I laughed maybe once at Jason Sudeikis, and that was it. I got to tell you, this is one of the biggest surprises of the year. I really like this movie quite a bit, actually. And if I were to actually stand up for Jared Hess, I think this would be the movie to do it. I actually really like this movie, and I think it's the best one in his catalog. So let's get real and break this down. So let's start with the writing and directing. In terms of the way the movie is written, the story is actually true. So everything we're kind of seeing, there might be a couple things that were fictional, but for the most part, as crazy as this movie is and how psychotic and insane it is in some parts, this is based on a true story, and I wouldn't put it past me that this was like 98% true, and like there was a little sprinkling of tampering with, but other than that, I think the story overall is just very entertaining, even if you don't really laugh at this movie because of the stupid nature of the jokes and just how kind of dumb humor it is. It's still an entertaining movie from start to finish. I enjoy myself. I did not find it boring one bit, except for the very beginning. It was a little rough. But going into the dialogue and the humor and whatnot, I think for the most part it delivers it very well. Once again, not a fan of Napoleon Dynamite or Nacho Libre. And he also did that movie Gentlemen Broncos that came out like a couple years ago, and that one bombed hardcore. So it was interesting for me to actually like this movie and like the awkward humor that Jared Hess is known for. I think it actually works for the characters and stuff because this robbery takes place in like a small little town that you wouldn't even really hear about unless you drove through it and stuff. So these people are not the brightest in the world. And so having it kind of with, these kind of dumb robbers is kind of funny when you place it, against that humor and whatnot. I think it works very well. So yeah, as far as the dialogue and the humor, I think it's very, very funny. However, this is one of the only few cons that I have is that at the very beginning of the movie, I'm talking like for a cool 5 to 10 minutes, they were trying way too hard for the humor. And I was like, I'm just not in it. Like I thought I was going to hate it for the rest of the time, but at some point in the very beginning, it started to pick up a little bit, and I was like, oh, okay, I'm starting to chuckle a little bit. And then by the end of the movie, I almost was laughing with tears down my face. It was just that good. But in the beginning, it was a little rough, a little bumpy, but we got back on track soon after. So that's it for the writing. Going into the directing, I think Jared Hess nails kind of like the overall kind of goofy atmosphere that he's known for, placing these awkward characters in awkward situations while still playing on a real life story, which is kind of cool. I thought the action was really well handled. Every single time when there was an action set piece, I say set piece, but as big as a comedy goes, it was always funny. Like you knew if something was coming a mile away, you'd be like, oh, well, he's going to trip and fall. But then, he would do something different. Something would happen in the middle of that joke, and then he would do the trip and fall, and then it just makes it even funnier. So I like how Jared Hess plays with traditional type of humor and really just kind of catches you off guard with it. Like, there's a poop joke in this. I never thought in a million years I would laugh at a poop joke as hard as I did, but I didn't expect it. I'm just sitting there. I'm just like, okay. And then what? So it's just stuff like that that kind of caught me off guard. I think Jared Hess does very, very well with that. constructing this crazy story and the humor along with it. I just think it works for this one. I don't know what it was about this one that clicked for me, but I think this is the first time I've actually said, hey, Jared Hess, I like your comedic timing and style. So going into the acting, listen, I got to be honest with you guys. Zach Galifianakis, Kristen Wiig, and even Jason Sudeikis, besides, We're the Millers and Kristen Wiig with Bridesmaids and Zach Galifianakis with The Hangover, these guys really haven't had like a major hit outside of those movies, and it's really hard for them to get kind of traction in their films and whatnot, even, especially Owen Wilson. I like Owen Wilson quite a bit. I think he's very charming and stuff, and he works in certain roles, but his movies have been kind of on the downslope too. Everyone does a really great job in this one. I think everyone was playing to their strengths. We saw a lot of improv scenes that worked really well. We saw a lot of, over the top, like goofy scenes that worked really well. We saw a lot of crude and sexual stuff that worked really well. I just think I think Jared kind of really let them kind of roam free in some scenes and then kind of rein them in on some others, and really just kind of got the best comedic performance he could have out of these actors. I think everyone does a really great job. Zach Galifianakis as the lead. Never thought I'd say it, but he was entertaining to watch. I liked his character. He's like a bumbling Southern idiot. So he's basically Alan from The Hangover, except he's got like a little accent on him. Then like Kristen Wiig does great, and Jason Sudeikis plays such a straight face because he's an assassin in the movie, and he's just like, yep, and like he's just so straight. He was not breaking character once, and like he just delivered these ridiculous lines, and it worked. And then Owen Wilson, he was great in it too. So yeah, the acting all around, it's great. I liked it. I think everyone came to play, man. Good job. Cinematography wise, I think it's nice to look at. It's a nice little clean movie, and I think all the kind of little mini action set pieces are really well filmed and whatnot. And I just think this is not just a straight up comedy. Well, I mean it is, but like I think it's just a really like kind of entertaining little heist movie too. So it's like a comedic heist film, and I think it delivered on that. And I think the way it was shot, with the swift camera movements and stuff, it kind of keeps that pace and it keeps it going while still having the humor, which for the most part is very dry and very awkward. So the humor doesn't really speed the movie along. So you have to use other techniques, and so filming it in such an energetic way does help out the pace of it. So moving that into the editing, I think the movie's like an hour and a half. The movie flew by for me. I was really enjoying myself. Like I said, little bumpy first 5 to 10 minutes. Like it was almost borderline atrocious for the first 10 minutes. And I was sitting there going, oh, wow, I don't know how this is going to end. Everyone else around me is loving this. So I don't know how this movie is going to turn out, but I don't know what happened, but it just kind of turned a corner for me. I just really enjoyed myself from start to finish. Guys, color me surprised. I did not think I was going to, come out of that movie going, that was pretty good. I like it. Not top 10 of the year. It's a damn good comedy, though. And I think you have a really good time just enjoying yourself in the theater and just having a ridiculous, entertaining trip that this movie is. And it's based on a real story. So when because at the end of the movie, they show like, the real life people and stuff and, where they're at and whatnot. It's crazy when you see this movie, like, I cannot believe this happened. Yes, did they probably alter some stuff? Sure. But knowing the characters that I saw, and knowing that they did this, I wouldn't be surprised, like I said, if 98% of what we saw was like true to some extent. So, guys, it is a fun time. If you do not like Napoleon Dynamite or Nacho Libre, I was convinced. You may not like it, but go in there with an open mind and you might enjoy yourself. If you love Napoleon Dynamite and Nacho Libre, you will love this movie. The dry and awkward humor, like I said, just works very, very well. Everyone's on their A game. Guys, it's a fun, entertaining ride. So I'm going to give Masterminds a solid B. So have you guys seen Masterminds or have you even heard of it? What do you guys think of Napoleon Dynamite or Nacho Libre? Comment in the place around my face and let me know. Guys, I'm just as surprised as you. I thought this movie was going to tank. I thought it was going to be another crap comedy that studios were going to release in theaters and whatnot. It was going to tank. I would say give your money to this movie. I think it deserves it. And I can't believe that due to unfortunate events, it was supposed to come out last year, but the company that was supposed to release it went bankrupt, so they had to put it on the shelf for a while. And so I think Relativity picked it up, and then they released it. So good job, Relativity. I like this movie quite a bit, and I actually want to revisit it. Hell, even see it in a theater with a full crowd again, because that crowd was The crowd was magnetic. We were all just having a fun time. So yeah, Masterminds, I'm gonna give it a B. So yeah, so that's it for the review, guys. I'm Chase Lee reporting for DallasMovieScreenings.com, and tune in next time for whatever I review next. See you guys later.